What is up, guys? It's King Akatsuki and welcome back to the video. We're going to be discussing power systems in anime. I've got 3 different categories that I put these systems in, and you guys can think of any other ones that would fit right in. Let me know in the comments. Well, let's hop right into it. King Akatsuki. Alright guys, today's game of choice is going to be the Enshrouded. If you haven't heard of this game, it is a survival game that kind of blends a lot of the things you might love from things like Skyrim or any kind of your RPG, your fantasy where you get to level up your own characters, and your things like Minecraft and those other kind of blocky voxel-based survival games. So our player here, Mr. Toast Sniffer, is who we're going to be playing as today. He's a new character that I started. Just to hop right into our topic, our first category is going to be the very famous and well-known resource-based power systems. We're talking your ki/chi, your chakra, mana, any of those things where the protagonist and or all of the people in that universe need to have this resource in order to be stronger, or have a great abundance of this resource in order to become as strong as they want to be, is going to be kind of placed into this category. Honestly, one of my favorite kind of animes in this category is Dragon Ball. I know, a real boring choice to say considering all the other things that could fit in here, but the only reason is because Dragon Ball's resource is key, and they don't ever really define it in a way where you have to think on a numerical level, but they do define power levels on a number system, so you can get an inference of how much ki a character can have based on their power level and how strong they are in the universe of Dragon Ball. So things like that are really cool to me. Naruto does this really well as well with their own thing, chakra. Chakra does kind of lose itself a little bit in the story of Naruto, only because they start to introduce other things like the nature chakra, sage jutsu. So while it's a granted a good addition, and it kind of shows why the sages are so important in the universe. Hold on, we got some wolves. So let me take care of these wolves first. All right, let me clear out the wolves, and then we're gonna get right back to what I was talking about. Anyways, back to our topic. While the addition of sage jutsu and nature chakra definitely separates the legendary Sannin from the rest of the ninja cast, that also creates a separation for a lot of the people in that universe to never be as strong as those 3 or even as Naruto. So you got that. Our next category is going to be class based.
Why are we still here?
And I'm sure you can kind of get an idea what I'm talking about. I'm talking about class-based magic systems. We got your fighters, your mages, your rogues, your knights, wizards, thieves, all those things, right? However they may categorize it, it's basically a way to tell the audience that these people have certain roles in the society that they're in, and those roles also affect the magic and the systems that they embody. I think something that I would love to see is a non-traditional class structure in an anime. Something I think the Cyberpunk Edge Runners anime did really well was introduce how all the different characters also embody the different types of gameplay you can experience. Like, you got the Netrunner, and then of course, David is the cyber psycho who takes all the cyberware he can get. And then you got just your casual gunslingers who just are there for the job. You're your grunt guy. But all of these systems with the class structure have one thing that's really unique in common with them, is that when they have a character that breaks those societal norms and like starts to push forward the plot, you really get a interesting twist on all of these classes. So for instance, solo leveling. If you've watched season 2, you know that our boy Sun Jin Woo gets a big upgrade in that season, and it really changes just how much the world reacts to him and how he interacts with the world. Our next topic, and I really like this system, Secret Society of Strong People, or the SSS. No, I'm joking. But what I mean by this is, if you've ever watched something where, you know, you've got the superheroes and villains, or you've got, let's say, certain individuals who've had their abilities awakened, right? And these abilities would be considered magical, public, or even like, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. Oh, it's right there. Spiritual. Even if you're talking about like spiritual based animes or occult things where you got vampires and werewolves or godlike magic and prayer or any of that stuff, where the actual systems being used are only used by a select handful of people who have gained the knowledge to get these powers. I did mention in my notes Nin from Hunter x Hunter as a really good example of this. And you would probably think, oh, well, Nin's kind of like Chakra. Wouldn't it fit more in that first category? And I would say yes, except Nin can only be accessed by certain individuals, you know, the hunters, after they've already gone through another awakening that kind of puts them in a state where they can access Nin and have to be in constant contact with other people who use Nin in order to improve their abilities. This means that the community does become tight-knit in a way. And I think that definitely fits in the Secret Society of Strong People. I'm throwing a lot of ums in here because I'm thinking on the fly, on the big fly. Some honorable mentions I've got. Here, actually, while we're in here, before we get to the honorable mentions, I do want to show you guys, this is the base that I've been building in Enshrouded. As we go down here, you'll see what my plan is. I'm gonna clear out this whole space and then decorate it, make it real fancy for all the villagers that you get in this game. And it's gonna be like an underground city society. But enough about my underground city. Back to these honorable mentions. We're gonna get out of this area though, because it's kind of loud. We'll find a little seat to pop a squat, and then we'll get back to what we're talking about. Can we make a seat? I think we can. Hey, Carpenter, you have a chair I can make?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Hello, guys. This is my partner, Lee.
And Carpenter.
And my Carpenter. Go follow Anomaly on all the things if you can find the things. Other than that, have a good day. Hey, bro. I want that chair so I can take a seat and pop a squat. We're gonna sit right here next to the window. As far as our honorable mentions goes,
like you cut, G.
I've got a couple special ones. One, yeah, all you One Piece fans gonna be happy to hear this, Devil Fruits. Because there's really no category I could put Devil Fruit in. It is the Secret Society of Strong People, but it's also not, because there's so many Devil Fruit users and they're all on the open seas trying to get at each other. And then it could be part of the class system, because eventually there's like these false Devil Fruits that get passed around. So it's everywhere. And then Future Diary. Ooh. So I don't know if you've heard of this anime. It's kind of niche, 2017, but I'll kind of give you the premise, and this will explain why I threw this in the honorable mentions.
There's a Diplodocus!
Oh my gosh, it actually is here.
They've broken a Triceratops.
A bunch of people get given phones that can predict the future via the diary system in these phones, and the diaries are connected to each individual, kind of like they're based on their personalities. So our main character, he's pretty a plain guy, so his diary is pretty plain and straightforward. However, his main love interest is madly in love with him, so her diary predicts his future, and so forth and so on. We kind of get introduced to all these different diary users, but they're all in a battle to the death. Okay, it's his last man standing kind of system that I want to throw in as an honorable mention. I didn't know where to fit it in any of these categories, but I did want to talk about it because I think it's just so interesting having this idea that all these characters are going to be trying to kill each other, and one of them's coming out on top. Now, for our last and final honorable mention, it's not really a crazy one. I'm sure everybody's heard of it, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Well, I would like to call this system the stand-in system. Basically, think Pokemon, Digimon, JoJo's. I know people are gonna be like, well, that comparison is crazy, but it's true. The idea that the characters have a supernatural being or super powerful being fighting along them as a partner in order to complete their objectives. That kind of power system is really interesting, but I think it kind of falls a little flat on its face when you need a new villain of the week. Because now there's always going to be a new user or a new challenge or a new rival every week. The storylines kind of get samey and pitched together if you're not creative with it. But that is why JoJo's is so good, is because they got creative. Also, that's a pack of wolves that I am not messing with. Oh Lord. Oh no, it's getting to be nighttime and I am scared. Okay guys, well, it's been King Katsuki. I have yapped most of your ear off, and the shroud is creeping up on me here in Enshrouded. So if you guys want to see more of this game and less of me yapping, please let me know down in the comments. Maybe we'll run up a series on it. And if you want to hear more of me yapping, also let me know in the comments. Anyways, it's been King Akatsuki, and I hope you guys have a good day. Peace.